At the end of the last module, we talked about how Kevin first got involved with Helium 10. For this module, we want to dive into how exactly did Kevin create Freedom Ticket. So I know that you're selling on Amazon. What sort of was that place where you decided, okay, I want to go out and I want to build a course?
Yeah, so I never envisioned building a course, and that was never my goal. As I said before, I just wanted to be a seller and just keep my head down and do my thing. But as I started doing the podcast with Manny, that led to other podcasts, and I started seeing people were getting value from some of the stuff I have to say. And as my wife says, I have no filter, and as Bradley will say, I have no filter. I just say it as it is, and that resonates with some people. It offends some people sometimes, but it also resonates with some people. And so I was like, you know what, this is actually helping some people, so maybe I should actually do something. And I have a background in teaching. When I was in college, I actually had there's a course called BANA 217. I went to Texas A&M University, and it was a weed out class for sophomores in the business school. And you had to learn the basic computing language. This is back 30 years ago. And it was a big weed out course, and the teachers that were teaching it weren't doing a very good job of teaching this course. And so what I did is in Texas, there's an act called the Sunshine Law, where you can actually get the records from any university of all the students and their addresses. And so I would go to the university at the beginning of the semester and say, who are all the kids taking this class? And Texas A&M is a huge university, like 50,000 students. And so there'd be like 1,000 people taking this class. And I would mail them a flyer through the physical mail and say, hey, the test dates for your classes, because the way the professors did it, no matter who you had, they organized the test dates on 3 certain dates during the semester. I'd find out what those dates were. And the night before that date, I would go rent out the ballroom at the Hilton or the Hyatt or some 400-seat ballroom and charge $15 a head. And these kids would come in, and I would teach them what they need to know to pass the test the next day. And so I did that for like 4 years and made, as a college kid, I was making some serious beer money. We had the nicest stereo in the house. We had the nicest parties. We had everything. So it was. So I have a background in doing that. So when the opportunity came along to give back, and I saw what's happening with the podcast, I was like, you know what? There's so much misinformation out there. I got so tired of seeing people on Facebook. Someone would post a question about how something works, and 3 or 4 people would answer, and it's all wrong. It's 100% wrong. And then they just get parroted everywhere else. It's like, this is just BS. This is just, someone's got to fix this. And then you'd see people that are teaching on YouTube or whatever, and I'm like, that person doesn't even sell. And there's some of the biggest gurus in this space that would go on a podcast, and someone would ask them a question, and they would answer like, that's not how it works. You don't even know it. You don't have a clue how this works. So it's like, someone's got to fix this. So I said, I'm going to create a course. And I decided, I'm going to create a course to fix this. And at the time, Manny and Guy weren't too interested in having a course for beginners, but they were kind of interested, and they were actually thinking about partnering with somebody else that actually had a course already. And then when I came to them and said, hey, I'm thinking about doing this, and they're like, well, why don't we just do it together? And I was like, yeah, but then, I got to give up a piece of it, and it's a lot of work to create a course, and it's a lot of knowledge. And they're like, well, it's up to you. And I thought about it, and I said, even if we go in as equal partners, they've got the audience, they've got the VAs and the customer service and the marketing, and I don't have to mess with any of that. I can just do what I do best and just teach. And like, all right, let's do it. So that's actually how the Freedom Ticket came to be, is that it was out of frustration, actually. And, to this day, it's still a lot of work, and I do the Freedom Ticket Extra where I give back. And there's some other people out there that are good at in this space, but there's a lot of misinformation, and a lot of people that they tried to sell and they failed, and they're like, what can I do now? They start a course, and like, you don't want to learn from that kind of person. So that's how the Freedom Tickets come to be. And the biggest reward I get is, some people might think I'm a celebrity or something like that, but I don't think of it that way. Yeah, I've reached a lot of people. In Austin where I live, I've been recognized at the grocery store or at a Walmart 3 or 4 times in the past year, just randomly, from people that have seen me in the Freedom Ticket or podcast. And that's kind of cool, but it's also kind of like, I don't really like to be in the spotlight. I like to be the guy behind the scenes. So it's kind of cool in one way, but it's also like, man, I don't know. I like my privacy as well. But the biggest reward I get out of it actually is when I go to an event like the Helium 10 Social that they've done, and did one recently in Las Vegas during a show, and had a big party, and people coming up to me and saying, I just wanted to meet you. I flew all the way here just to meet you and just say thank you, because something you said on a podcast or something you said in a training has changed my life. That's what I get. That's where I get out of it. I'm always the guy. I like to help people. And you know, I used to watch American Idol. I haven't watched it recently, but I watched like the first 10 seasons, not because I'm a huge music fan or because I like reality TV, but I like seeing someone who's talented, who has the ambition, get that chance and get that opportunity. Everybody needs a little bit of a help. Everybody needs a little bit of a nudge, a little bit of information to take them over that hump. And so I really enjoy doing that and helping people in that way.
Keep on plugging away. There is more to come.